Hi everyone, this is Daniel with DCF Garage, and this is me and Gorgeous Wife's new 2020 Expedition Limited. Yes, we traded in our 2015 F-150 for this Limited, and today what I'm going to do is the first break-in oil change. And I bought this 6-quart container, which has 70% less plastic, and it's the exact amount of oil that I need. It was about $17-ish at Walmart, so I thought it was a good deal. It is a full synthetic oil, and it does comply with Ford's standard, which is right here. It's a WSS M2C961-A1, whatever that means, I have no idea, but it does comply with Ford standards. Now let's take a look at the second gen EcoBoost. I just want to share with you a couple of things I like in this new engine and the options that we got for the truck. So there's one interesting feature in this truck that I think if you're going to get an Expedition, I think you should consider what I've got. But let me show you the engine first. One of the reasons I wanted to trade in my 2015 and get a newer model is absolutely the engine. So this is the second generation 3.5 twin turbo EcoBoost, and in the second generation Ford fixed a couple of issues that the first gen had. The first one is a timing chain. Instead of one huge 7-foot timing chain for everything, they've updated it to 2 timing chains. So you got one timing chain for the left side, one timing chain for the right side. So that takes care of the stretching problem that could happen on the first generation EcoBoost. The other improvement that Ford did was adding port injection. So this engine, in addition to direct injection, also has port injection. And this takes care of the excessive carbon buildup in the back of the intake valves that is prone to happening to any direct injected engine. And the second gen is also slightly more powerful. So this engine is rated for 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. So one package that I got for our truck that I think is an absolute must is a trailer tow package. Now, not that I'm going to be towing a lot with this truck. I'm not sure. Well, I'm certainly not planning to, but if I have to, I do have the option. So the option rates the truck for 9,300 pounds in the case of this specific truck, and it's 9,000 pounds for other trucks. If you don't get the package, it's about 6,000 pounds, 6,200 pounds of towing capacity. What I think is the best feature of the package is not the trailer brake, is not the backup assist. It's the 373 rear end differential that this truck has, and also it's got an electronic limited slip. So, and this is obviously a 2-wheel drive truck. I decided to go with the 2-wheel drive because honestly, I'm not going to do any off-road with this truck, and where I live doesn't snow. So I got the 2-wheel drive with the trailer tow package and the electronic limited slip. I think it's really, really good. I can feel a difference from my old 2015 F-150. It makes the truck a lot more fun to drive. So if you plan on getting an Expedition, I highly recommend you drive the one with the 315 rear axle ratio and one with the 373 and see what you think. What I thought, with the 373, it's going to get horrible mileage. The RPMs is going to be high at highway speeds. And with a 10-speed transmission, it is not the case. Traveling about 75 miles per hour, I'm about at 2,000 RPMs, which is nice. With the old truck that had the 355 axle and a 6-speed 6R80 transmission, when I was about 75, it would be about 2,200 RPMs. So not that bad gas mileage. I'm getting 21, 22 on the highway, 18, 19 combined. This is what I'm getting with this truck. So I absolutely think that getting the trailer tow package was, you know, was a huge hit. And I highly recommend you also, if you're considering an expedition, that you get the trailer tow package. And this truck has an interesting feature that I wanted to show you, and it's certainly because it's a COVID truck, because it's certainly not usual, is the whole truck came with gray stitching, right? So there is an upgrade, there's an option that you can add to these trucks where it adds red stitching to everything, right? That's leather, but mine does not have that option. However, they've decided in a factory that they would place a red stitching trim on the left rear door. And this is just on the left door because the other side is gray and this side is red. So I've got just one door panel with the red stitching upgrade. Interesting. All right, now let's get to the oil change. So just like the F-150, you have this cover that you take out with 8mm bolts, just like that. And now you have access to your oil pan. This is the drain plug over here. So just like the F-150, I can't remember, I think this is going to be a 14 or a 15mm. So let me go get that, and it shoots to the side, very unpractical, but you know, Ford engineers. Okay, so I'm gonna use a 15mm. This is SAE, gonna be SAE something, I don't know. But a 15mm will do the trick because you don't need a lot of torque in these. So let me position my drain pan down here because it tends to make a little bit of a mess. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna let it drain down to a trickle and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that it's down to a trickle, I'm just gonna clean this in the stabilizer bar, and we're gonna go back with the plug. It's got a rubber washer here. I don't think you need to replace this every time like a regular copper washer. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys will let me know. Sorry for the background noise. Got some construction going on in the back here. So let's screw this in. No need to go crazy on the torque. Just make it snug. That's it. So the oil filter is right here in the front, just like the F-150. But interestingly, what the Expedition has, it's got like a sled here for the oil. So I'm just going to position the pan right down here because the oil is gonna come and it's just gonna drip from here. So I'm going to position the pan. This is well thought. The F-150 didn't have that, and it's a bit more spacious to get the filter out compared to the F-150 for some reason. So I've untightened the filter. Now I can get it out by hand. My pan is positioned. Oh no, it's not dripping. It's dripping from behind. That's interesting. So I wonder what's going to happen when I pull it out. Yeah, well, it dripped from the back just like the F-150. I have no idea what this is for. This is misleading. So it just drips from the back like the F-150. All right, so let's give it some time to, and then we're going to come back with a new filter. And this is, like I said, the FL500S. So the filter just goes in, very simple. Tighten it by hand. And by the way, I think that the F-150 took the FL400S, not the 500. Well, or at least the first generation EcoBoost. So if you know the difference between the FL400 and the FL500S filters, please let me know in the comments. Let us all know. By the way, I figured out why it dripped from the back and not from the front, even though you have a slide here. It's because I have the front of the car jacked up. It says open here, So push, never used one of these. First time. I'm gonna tear this, get it out of the way, and unscrew. Gotta pull this. Yeah, so that's supposed to be it. And it says here that it was no glove or something, supposed to be easier to port. So let me try to get this oil in here without making a huge mess. All right, new oil going in. And this is 6 quarts, so it's exactly how much I need for the truck. Okay, now let's start the car, take a measurement. All right, so we filled with 6 quarts, and you might not be able to see, I think you can. So this is the top mark, this is the bottom mark, and it's close to the top mark, and not all the oil has reached the oil pan yet. So I think we're good. So that's it. That's the break-in oil change for the 2020 Expedition. If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe. Thank you.